Hello, what is up, box office dynasty people, box lovers, if you may. What's
Whoa,
going on? What's going on, Josh?
whoa. That could be. Look, we have a whole episode planned, but Jack, you might be changing the tides of what we're going to talk about this week with that first, that opening there.
We're the
Well,
BOD.
speaking of
We
opening,
love box and we love box office. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Jack,
I'm Josh.
and we're doing fantastic today. Isn't that right, Josh?
It's December as of recording. Of course, releasing too, but today's December 1st.
It's fun, dude. I love December. It's cold as fuck, and especially where we are, East Coasters, it's freezing, but the vibes of December are immaculate.
Especially in the realm of entertainment and in Hollywood. I mean, this
Yeah,
is the
bro.
time. There's so much going on. There's so much coming out. Really exciting stuff. And that's reflected this week.
Dude, it's not even this December. Also, next December, I'm also so hyped for. Like
It's
back
every
to back
December.
Decembers.
It's
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
right.
it's every December. It's the holiday season. Studios always put their best releases this time of year, especially films that are going to be, whether they're big box office hits like some of the ones we're going to talk about today, or Oscar hopefuls like some of the other ones we're going to talk about
Uh-huh.
today. This is the time where all of that is revving up, and so with the holidays and the award season, and that's why you get some of the best movies of the year at this time. This is one
Yeah.
of the best times of year.
And exactly why this episode, we're focusing on a bunch of movies today. We watched a lot of movies recently. We are going to go over our Bible study movie, which was Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. That name always confuses me, but we watched that. We'll review and rate that. And then we split up each movie that we pretty much were watching, each new release, because there are a lot of new releases this week in the past week. So I'll be reviewing Zootopia 2 and Eternity, and you will be reviewing Sentimental Value and Hamnet. And these all are going to be spoiler-free reviews. There's not going to be any spoilers, so you can watch each review if you're interested. If you want to know what we think about the movies, definitely watch through them, and maybe will influence you to watch or not watch. Hopefully watch, though, depending, I don't know how he feels about these movies. He doesn't know how I feel. Hopefully they're all good. And we got some news at the beginning that we're going to go through in a little bit, but it's a great episode. And I wanted to start this episode off with something that is just a little fun, a little, we've been doing this for a couple months, and it's the internet. So we've had our fair share of just people fucking hate everything we say. But we appreciate the comments anyway. We love the support or the hate. I'm willing to take it all in. I know you are too. It's funny reading them. And we love the people that are nice to us. So I went through and I picked out some of my favorite nice comments just to read to you, Josh, because these are the people that support us and they like us and they like our content. And reading them made me feel really good. So I'm just going to read a couple to you right now, okay?
That's a great idea. I'm
So
very excited. Yeah, I love the people who support us.
we have some really great viewers. So these are from you guys. AFK the kid said, "Good job to the bearded guy" on one of our videos. Scary Dinosaur says, "We have beautiful takes." Soph said, "Love seeing you guys on my feed." The Escape Pod podcast says, "Can't wait to meet y'all and see y'all at a premiere. It's closer than you think. Keep up the great work. We love you." Nick says, "W lists." Clark said, "Love the content, boys." Caden J3 says, "You guys know ball." Ryan A says, "Huge fan of you guys." Joseph says, "I watched some of your videos and you are so genuine and I'm a big fan." And then my favorite comment of all, not a popular, not a happy comment for you, but it's hilarious and it made me laugh. T Raptor X51 just commented, "Hair transplant."
Come on, man.
Just to end
Come
it off.
on.
So I added very nice comments, but that was my favorite comment.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if that's a nice comment. Thank you to whoever wrote that. But besides hair transplant guy, we love all the rest of our viewers and listeners and commenters and followers. We appreciate everything that you post, that you watch, that you share. This show that we do, the best part of it is the people that support it. We're not a big show. We're not a very popular show by any means. We're just two guys, but we really love film. We really love entertainment. We really love just the craft, and we love doing this to try and help. I mean, there's a lot going on, and to help navigate, a little bit about what we think maybe is fun to watch, good to watch. And so we appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, and we love you guys. And hopefully, for someone out there, whoever watches our clips or our videos or anything like that, like we're just one of you guys. Like, and like I love that we can build very small community, but it's still a community, and I love it.
And
So
if you ever watch anything that we watched on this show, or anything else for that matter, please comment. Tell us what you think about it, your thoughts. I mean, like Jack's saying, this is a community, a film community that we all share. And the whole point is to spark conversation and debate. We may agree or disagree on certain opinions, but at the end of the day, we share the love of the craft. And
yeah,
so we want to know what you think.
Send us messages or DMs. Like we'll argue with you if you want. If you hate some of our opinions,
you go right to the argue bit, not agree.
If you love our opinions, we'll agree with you. But if you hate our opinions, we'll defend them. So it's a fun time either way. So thank you guys for commenting. And I just wanted to spread the love that I've been seeing with you, Josh.
Well, I feel the love. I think that was a beautiful way to start this episode, and it's a fun episode indeed. So why don't we get into some news that we'll share with everybody then? Speaking of all our listeners, we have some more news nuggets to come at you with this week. At least I do. I don't think you do. You said, Jack.
I might have one. If you don't mention it, I might tease it a little bit.
Yeah, yours is that the Jets have a win streak, right?
Let's go!
That's yours. Starting off, Scarlett Johansson is set to star in Mike Flanagan's new Exorcist movie for Universal and Blumhouse. Flanagan is writing, directing, and producing what's being described as a, quote, radical new take on the franchise. So this movie is going to take place in the same universe as the original 1973 Exorcist film, but it's not going to be a sequel to the Exorcist Believer movie that came out a few years ago, which originally was going to be a trilogy, but obviously it tanked, failed, and now they're going in a new direction with Mike Flanagan, a filmmaker who has quickly risen to the top of one of the best horror directors out there right now.
You're gonna eat that shit up, dude.
Bro, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No crumbs
Scarlett Johansson's probably the biggest movie star that Flanagan has worked with.
Yeah, I mean, is he still doing Clayface?
Well, he wrote it. He's not directing it.
Oh yeah, so you're right. Good for him. He's getting up there.
And obviously Mark Hamill is a huge star too, but I would argue Scarlett Johansson at this point, with all the blockbusters she's in, all the money those franchises have made, all the money she's made, she's a bigger movie star. So I think like this is the biggest name that he has gotten to attach to one of his projects that he's working on, I think. And I wonder, with someone with such a creative, unique take on blending horror and drama, I wonder what that's going to look like with such a phenomenal actress and such a big star like Scarlett Johansson. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. The next piece of news to throw at you, this is an interesting tidbit for today. Rush Hour 4 was greenlit at Paramount after a push from Donald Trump himself to the studio. Director Brett Ratner, who did all the first 3 Rush Hour films, is going to return fresh off his new documentary that just came out about Melania Trump. So there's a bit of a connection there as well. And it sounds like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker will also return, but I haven't seen that confirmed yet. So
Trump loves Rush Hour? Is that what we're saying?
So Trump loves Rush Hour, and he's buddies with the Ellison family and got them to push through Rush Hour 4 at the studio, basically.
Did Brett Ratner, do you know off the top of your head, did he direct X-Men 3?
I can get that right now. I don't know.
Because one of the X-Men directors got canceled. And
he did. No, he did The Last Stand.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Okay, yeah.
Didn't he get canceled? Didn't he, like, assault? Like, it was only, like, sexual assault?
Did he?
allegations against it? I'm pretty sure. I thought so. Maybe not, but I don't want to put anything out there if it's not true. But I could have sworn the X-Men director got some fucked up stuff about him.
I have no idea.
And then, now we're
Honestly.
talking Trump, so I don't know. Okay.
Hey, look,
No surprises there.
we
Is all
all
I'm
know
saying.
we all know how we feel at the show about the administration and especially the way they've treated the film industry. Yeah, I'm not putting anything out there that I don't know to be fact, but it wouldn't surprise me. Certainly. He just did a
Oh.
documentary about Melania.
Oh, I see. He's denied allegations, but apparently 6 women, including actress Olivia Munn, accused Brett Ratner of sexual harassment.
Well, there you go.
And apparently he
folks.
also used anti-gay slurs at some point in 2011.
Oh, great. Yeah.
All
Well,
right. There you go. So Rush
that
Hour 4.
yeah, Rush Hour 4, which stinks because there's a lot of fans out there. I mean, it's a cult classic, especially the original one. So,
Yeah. And
I
we're not
mean,
saying he did any of that. I'm just saying those allegations do exist.
yeah, and it's always, I mean, when you see who's clearly interacting with him, who has his own, I
It's
mean,
you could have your own
ocean of
personal
allegations.
opinion of what you think happened.
You at home can connect the dots
Yeah.
very easily. But I thought that was interesting because it's not often that you see, the president of the United States personally get involved in the production of a film.
Dude, isn't that so funny that he's like, I love Rush Hour. Make another one.
Yeah, he's like
Snaps
like
like, "Nah,
like he's like a
one more."
king, bro. Like
Yeah, dude.
when people like was with the No Kings protest, like I know there's like so many more important examples than this, but just the fact that he can sit around and be like, "Yo, we need Rush Hour 4, call someone," and now it's being made.
Dude,
Come on, man,
I wish
that's
I could just be
crazy.
sitting there being like, servant, get Christopher Nolan on the phone. He's making Interstellar 2 right now.
Yeah, right. Matthew McConaughey back now.
You better be back.
That's too good. So anyway, Rush Hour 4 is coming soon, I guess.
All right.
It's not the only thing Paramount has announced. I don't think you've seen this, and I think you're going to be a lot more excited about this one. Paramount, just today I saw this, like just before coming on, has announced an event film in the Sonic universe will release in December 2028, 1 year after Sonic 4 releases.
What do you mean an event film?
They just describe it as a major spin-off set inside the Sonic universe. All the details are still under wrap.
Oh, dude, I know it's not going to be, but everyone wants Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Everyone wants
Now
that,
that would actually be insanity.
That would be an event, right?
That would be the event of the video. That would be the largest video game film of all time if
100%.
that happened.
So I don't know what kind of
Then
event
I would truly believe Smash as a film would ultimately
it'd be happening.
happen.
Of course. I don't know what they could do with Sonic. I don't know who's going to be introduced in Sonic 4, but I know you and I are very fond of those movies.
They get
the
better
Sonic
each
franchise.
time. I love
they're
it.
good. Like the third one is so good.
It's actually a good movie. And it's interesting. Don't take it from us. The franchise has already made $1.2 billion worldwide between those 3 films alone.
Yeah.
So there's a love for this franchise. It's growing. This might be one of Paramount's biggest flagship IPs in the next several years here. Like they might be really growing this out. And we talk about, does everything need to be a franchise, this and that? And that reminds me of something in a second. This is the one thing you can grow.
This makes perfect sense for that.
It makes perfect sense. And so I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of event they're going to do. I mean, spin-offs, if it's not a direct sequel, all I could think of maybe like a Shadow prequel, or because we got the Knuckles TV show, or focus Dr. Eggman, bring fucking Jim Carrey back for a 10th time. Who cares?
He's
Silver,
gonna always be great,
Dude, I love Silver. He's one of the hedgehogs in the games, and he comes from the future. That'd be a sick spin-off. So there's a lot to do with this franchise, so I'm very excited.
A lot of places that they can take it. And so far they've only gotten better each time, in both of our opinions at least. So maybe the best is yet to come for the Sonic franchise. And it reminds me of that because I saw that like they want to expand on the Wicked franchise now. They were like, "Oh, we need to do more there, capitalize, blah blah blah." And you
That's what
know,
we don't want to see.
I don't see how or why that you need that, and why Wicked. There is so much content of the original Oz books that has never been adapted before. Take from the original source material if you really want, but you don't need to adapt this specific, you know, fan fiction music, Broadway musical, off Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz, sort of Wizard of Oz Wicked universe. It just feels like, oh man, you're obviously doing a cash grab, not like you have something here. Like
right.
sometimes, what happened? I just want to leave off like what happened to a movie just being a movie.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, they loosely connect to Wizard of Oz. They could easily just loosely connect to Wicked, like whatever, but just like make your own shit.
It's just sometimes like, why does everything need to be a franchise? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Anyway, that wasn't even a news nugget. That just reminded me of that.
It's
But
news
those
to
are
me.
your news nugget.
Oh, you're
Okay, yeah.
done?
Well, the Sonic one was the last one I had. Yep.
I got one quick one also. That this is
Oh, okay. All right.
this was just from the ether that I heard recently, and I don't have any details about it, but apparently Sony is making a Labubu movie.
I did see that.
Is this not the studio when they make a fucking Kool-Aid movie?
It is the studio.
I
It's
heard that. I was like,
exactly
this
that.
is Seth Rogen will be shitting his pants right now.
But that's why, I mean, to get to the studio for a second, since you bring it up, like that's what makes that like one of the best shows that's come out this year, and like
I
it's just
know.
such a great show because it's so in touch. Like it's such a
Yeah.
satirical meta kind of approach at this comedy, but it's so real. It's so honest.
Yeah, and you think it's like hyperbolic, where it's like nobody's gonna watch a or be excited about a Kool-Aid movie, bro. They just greenlit a Labubu movie, and by the way, does anyone talk about Labubus anymore? Like that movie's not gonna
Well,
come out for a year or two, and nobody even
no,
talks about them now.
but like people will still take their kids, I guess, or whatever. Like, and
Yeah,
and
but
that's like
like
that's the point. It's just about the money. Like
this
when
is like
we
when the Hulk dabbed. It's like just so out of touch, and
no,
by the time
I
the movie gets made,
absolutely.
it's crazy.
We'll probably have 6-7 references in it, and no one will be
Probably
talking about 6-7 next year.
the 6-7 cinematic universe is gonna come out next year.
And like it'll be like announced for like 2032.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll be like no one will give a shit by then,
Yeah. So that's the end of our news nuggets. Let's move on to some movies. Or wait, yeah, we're doing movie first, right?
Who would play 6 and who would play 7? Willem Dafoe's got to be one of them, right?
He would probably be 7.
Yeah, like 7's a weirder guy, I guess.
He's
right?
sharper also. Like 7's just
Yeah.
like a sharp looking man.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe could be 7, and 6 would be kind of like a maybe a bigger, chubbier person, but not too fat, and like
Josh Gad.
oh, Josh Gad being 6 is kind of an elite pull. And Willem Dafoe as 7, I like that. But Willem Dafoe as 7, just like with the Green Goblin mask, he sees 8 and he's like, I'm turning into 8. Like 7's going to become 8, and then 6, 8, and then 6, 9. And then they have an orgy.
I wouldn't 7 want, but 7 eats 9. That's the whole thing. So doesn't 7 see 9? And like Willem Dafoe is like the whole Green Goblin thing is he like wants to eat 9 because he's like, oh my god,
That's
like
better. That's better.
I'm
He's like a werewolf.
I'm so yeah, right. Like so, who's playing 9? Who does Willem Dafoe want to eat?
Ew, who's the first victim? This is like when you're casting a murder mystery movie, and then you get like all the big named actors, like in Knives Out, and then you just kill them off at the beginning.
Right.
9 would probably be someone like. What about like Matt Damon?
Oh, so we're going older. Okay.
Yeah, like you get a big name, but that's the subversion, is that he immediately dies.
Oh, so we're pulling like a Scream here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, yeah. Like, so there's like a whole thing where 7 and 9 are kind of like dueling it out, and then 7 eats 9,
7, 8, 9.
and 6 is be like, what the fuck was up with that?
And 6 and 9 were lovers.
Oh shit!
Yo, 6 and 9 used to fuck, bro? So
That's
Josh Gad needs to get revenge on
crazy.
Seven, and then it's the 6-7 movie.
Yo, this actually
Holy
kind of
shit!
sounds like a good
It
movie
actually doesn't
now.
sound. Holy shit! Did we just make the 6-7 movie?
We actually just all right. Wait, shit. Now we can't release this episode, dude,
Fuck,
because I
dude.
guarantee you one of these studios is going to steal it. Paramount.
Yeah, don't tag Paramount in this because I'm clipping this, by the way. So don't
Yeah, like
tag Paramount.
not a single Paramount. Like we saw what you did to Nathan Fielder. He told us, okay, through the rehearsal,
Yeah, yeah, we
okay.
did. Yeah, yeah.
So we're not fucking with that.
We don't
Don't
want
steal the
that.
6-7 movie.
Yeah, chill the fuck out. I'd actually watch that shit too, which is sad. But I'm not watching Labubu.
I'm not watching Labubu. I will watch the 6-7 movie.
Would you watch Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice?
I would. I did. And Jack and Josh will talk about Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice.
Yes, sir. Do you want to explain how a Bible study works?
Not really.
Yeah, me neither.
All right. So anyway, all right, fine. I'll do it. Just for you, Jack.
Thanks, buddy.
Basically, and also because I have to cross it off, so I have to open it anyway. So
Exactly.
basically, we have these film Bibles. It's the New York Times Book of Movies, The Essential 1,000 Films to See, selected by Manola Darji and A.O. Scott. And what we do is we have you folks, the great folks that we were honoring earlier in this episode, except for the hair transplant guy, you guys at
My
home
favorite.
you guys at home comment numbers between 21 or 23, I always forget which one it is,
I think it's
and 12.
23.
I think it's 23 and 1265. And we pick one of those by random and we watch the film that's in this book associated to that number. And this week we watched, as Jack said, Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. So we're going to rate and review that film. It will be the only film on this week's episode with a spoiler review. So
That came out in 1969, so spoilers for
of course
that
this
movie.
movie did.
So here are our reviews for Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. I give it 6 feelings out of 10.
Those are all the feelings you probably had for it, right?
Exactly.
I give it 8 orgies out of 10.
Dude, this movie started off with just fat tits in your face.
And the second I saw that, I knew you were going to bring that up.
You brought up the orgy.
Well, that's like a big part of the film's
I know, but
whole
I mean,
thing.
it's the whole thing is like the build up to the orgy.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, anyway, so yes, you see big fat tits at the beginning of this film because
Huge knockers.
Bob and Carol are a couple who are at a therapeutic retreat up in wherever. This wasn't San Francisco. We'll get to that.
Definitely not.
But they're at a therapeutic retreat, and it kind of like changes them. And then suddenly now they're all about telling the truth and being open and honest. And the two of them return home to Los Angeles to their friends Ted and Alice, where they have a very intimate relationship with as a group of 4. And this new renowned version of Bob and Carol, they try to implement it on Ted and Alice, and it suddenly changes things about their relationship dynamic. So that's what the film is about. I thought it was a really fun character film. I thought it was such an interesting dynamic between the couples and just seeing them have these interactions. Like the performances were awesome, were great. Natalie Wood, the late great Natalie Wood,
Is she
will
Carol?
always. She's
she
Carol.
Carol?
She's
Yeah.
Carol. She will always forever be an icon. She was just such a legendary actress who had a great career. And I thought that this was actually one of her best performances. I really loved just like the kind of like bubbly hippie,
I did like that.
take that she had, especially for a film of this time. But obviously I love Diane Cannon as well. I think Diane, I don't know, it's spelled Dyan. I didn't look up the phonetic pronunciation before this. But Her performance, her facial expressions, I thought were really top notch. It's what earned her a nomination that year. Elliot Gould running around
I
horny
always
as
love him.
shit was hilarious. Yeah, even Robert Culp, that was kind of the most laid back performance of the four, but he's still his presence kind of in contrast as the straight man to Elliot Gould and Diane Cannon and Natalie Wood. Like that's what really kind of emphasize those performances. So the whole thing, their chemistry, I thought it was great. I love these dynamics. It was fun.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10. I mean, I don't have that much many good things to say. It entertained me, so I can give it a decent score. Like I'm like I was entertained, and I really can't ask for much more than that. That's kind of like my bare minimum for a movie. Uh, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I there were some enjoyable parts. Every character annoyed the fuck out of me, especially Bob and Carol when they got back from their retreat. They were so annoying. Even Elliot Gould's character, he literally gets so horny at one point. His like brain starts to melt, and he gets like really like fat
He
headache.
gets so horny, he gets a migraine. It's
I know
fucking,
it's crazy.
it's hilarious.
And his wife is like, I don't like being touched by him, and I'm like, oh my god, and like lots
Yeah,
of
well,
issues.
but
The
yeah, I
son
thought
doesn't knock, like bro, fucking knock on the door,
he's a
like
little
they're.
kid.
I know they were all so annoying.
I, you're annoyed at his son for walking in on his parents.
Yeah, don't be doing that.
That's a
Learn your
criticism.
manners.
I guess, but like I don't think they're supposed to be not annoying. I think that's kind of the point. They're four very distinct, very, individualized people, and I think that this film does a really good job at balancing both couples, their issues, their arcs, and the characters, their individual kind of motivations, and kind of carving that out. Bob with his guilt, Carol with, obviously she represents kind of this hippie, more sexual liberation feeling, whereas Alice is more sexual repression, and
Yeah.
then Ted is, just this fucking horn dog asshole. And I thought that the film really kind of outlined these very well, especially like we talked about. Yes, it's funny that such a horned up sexual film that came out in 1969, haha, for the 6-7 movie, I guess. But also, like, it's a time you think about what was going on in the culture, this shift where we saw a lot more just sexual liberation and unorthodox relationship dynamics, like open relationships and things like that. And so for a film at this time that really so, I guess, pleasantly outlines it and explores these themes at a time period where that shift allowed that to start happening, people were really getting more ambitious with that, and publicly outward with sexual deviance, I guess. Like I just think it makes it such a more unique film to watch, like such a more, in a way, for me, and for me, entertaining film to watch.
I think the men should have just dated and the women should have dated and then
Oh, the women
gone
came
away.
close to it at
Yeah.
times.
Do you
There
think
was
or you think you and I would make a good couple?
Jack and Josh.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the odd couple, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel
Like we could be like Ted and Bob.
like we have our differences, but we no, like we, the odd couple.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd be like that, like them.
But we can't dock though.
No, not as not as far as I'm concerned. As far as I know,
That's probably like
I haven't
the,
seen
no, but as far
all
as we know,
parties involved, but
that's probably the best part about being gay too. But whatever. Um, just saying we can't, bro. Like if you were gay, you'd want to dock.
I guess
You would want to
I
do
guess you'd
everything if you were
want to. I
gay.
guess you'd want. Well, isn't that sort of what Bob and Carol's whole shtick is about? And then later on, like it's experiences to experience things. Like it's
Yeah.
the idea is for
Yeah, for
them.
sure.
Their lesson is like they want to experience things just to try it, and so like they smoke weed, they want to have an orgy,
Uh-huh.
all this crazy stuff at a time where, like I said, they can feel more liberated to do so and freely to do so. because there was such a rebellious um, phase of life at the time, in contrast to Vietnam and everything going on politically. So for a film like this to come out in 19, it really makes a lot of sense. And that's why I think it's cool. Like, that art is such a reflection of that time. And yes, it's a fun movie. It's comedic. It's silly. It has those beats. But like, you look a little deeper, you see
Oops.
that it has boobs. It has a lot of boobs. But like, you take a second, you look a little deeper from the surface, you're like, wow, there's actually, like, it's really interesting that this came out at a time where all of that was going on.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, even the beginning, like it is interesting. The character dynamics are interesting. Like Bob has an affair with on Carol, and then Alice cares more than Carol does
Right, with the girl from San Francisco,
with the
that's
San
what that was
Francisco girl.
about.
Yeah, like
And
Alice is distraught and she's like, I don't even want to talk to them. I can't be friends with them. And then she goes to therapy and it's like, whatever. But like, Carol's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's
but in
fine.
a sense, I think maybe Alice is almost jealous
I think you're right.
of that, not just of Bob, but really of Bob and Carol's relationship.
That they're still happy together and able to
Yeah.
have different experiences. And then she's with her husband and she says she loves him, but she doesn't really love him. Like she's like, I like
Well,
him
yeah, she says she likes him. That's true. She likes him. She loves her kid
and loves her
and
friends.
loves her friends. I just think that she feels very sexually repressed in her own relationship. Like,
100%.
she doesn't feel like, and that's what goes on to that liberation feeling at the time. Like, she feels very enclosed and trapped, and so she is just completely turned off by anything to do with Ted. And Ted is very selfish and very, narrow-minded in a sense, and
Yeah.
to the point where he's thinking primarily about his needs. And he tries to, the difference between him and Bob is that Bob is very honest about the fact that he just has these needs, whereas Ted tries and pretends to be a good person, but in reality he's no different than Bob.
Ted is like kind of a fucking sicko. Like
I
he
mean, he
he is
emotionally manipulated her
100%.
into having sex.
Like nowadays, I know we look at things differently nowadays, but through today's lens, like that is considered sexual assault. Like
Oh,
she
sure.
says no a million times, and he's like bitching and moaning and complaining and just instigating and just pushing her to do something she doesn't want to do. And he says at one point, he's like, you know, I would never make you do anything you don't want to do. But then she says no, and he's like, come on, what the hell? Like, don't you love? Like, oh, my head hurts. Oh, you're hurting me. Like,
Well, they don't end up doing it because she doesn't have the pills.
I know, but he's such a
It
pussy,
is,
dude.
it's absolute sexual manipulation and,
Yeah,
harassment.
just coercion.
It is coercion, absolutely, because you're right. He's like, and I do think that toxicity does exist somewhat in a two-way street, because then he tries to find another outlet and she
Yeah,
hangs on to him. So there's something there as well. But at the end of the day, he was kind of in that power dynamic in that room.
yeah, he's a sick
At the
freak.
end of the day, he was using that energy that he had, that kinetic energy, against her. So
It's hard not to see him as Ross and Monica's dad from Friends, Jack Geller.
the Geller dad, yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many lines in Friends where he's kind of like sexually, like, you know, he makes lines where he's like, your mom and I used to do that, or he's like, oh, that Porsche is where you were conceived, and like he does that in Friends.
If only he had been Bob and she had been Alice,
Yeah,
or she had
yeah,
been, or if he had been Ted and she had been Alice.
yeah. And
Um,
he says that stuff in Friends, so it's funny, like thinking about that, seeing this.
what is your ranking of them?
You know, I didn't put it in,
Did you
but
see mine on Letterbox?
no, I didn't. So you tell me where yours is, and I'll put
All
mine
right,
in.
I put Ted. This is from worst to best.
Okay, so yeah, go through all. So we've seen 10 movies now.
Oh no, I meant
I think
I
you meant
meant my
where on
ranking of,
Letterboxd.
we can do that too, but I meant the ranking of the four
Oh,
characters.
I got you.
We can do that too,
Uh,
though. I do, since we're at 10, but I want to tell you mine first.
okay, go ahead.
From worst to best, I did Ted, Bob, Horst, Alice, Carol. So 5 is Ted. I didn't want to reveal that. I did 5 Ted,
Wait,
4 Bob, 3 Horst, 2 Alice, 1 Carol.
why'd you put Horst in there?
Because he's kind of a part of this now. He
I
slept
know,
with
but
Carol.
he's like barely in the movie.
Bro, but he offered to give tennis lessons to the husband of the woman he slept with. That's
I know,
like
he's
kind of
pretty
nice.
funny.
He's definitely nicer than both Bob and Ted. Like
He's a better person.
I had to give Horst some love.
I
It
think
should be Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice and Horst.
I think I would do putting Horst in the title is so funny. I think I would say Ted. I like Bob, I think, a little more than you. But Bob, he's such an asshole.
Bob, well, no, yeah, they're both assholes, but the only reason I put Bob above Ted is because at least Bob is honest.
Exactly, like Bob's an asshole,
And
but
feels
he's pretty
guilt.
charismatic
And
too.
feels guilt. Well, he's still a piece of shit though.
I know, but he's
because
very
he still willingly cheats on his wife. He's still the one who's like, he still started that whole thing. You know what I mean? So like,
Okay.
I would say, but at least he's honest about it and feels remorse and guilt. And
I'm
unlike Ted.
I'm gonna say Ted, Carol, Horst, Bob. No, Bob, Horst, Alice.
How is Carol that low? Carol is all about spreading love for everyone.
No, dude.
And exploration and liberation. Like
Was she your number one or was Alice your number one?
No, Carol's number one. Alice is number 2.
I like Alice better.
Why is Alice your number 1?
Well, I can tell you what Carol's not. It's not really anything that Alice does. It's stuff that Carol does that I don't like. Carol gave me my least favorite scene of the movie, the secondhand embarrassment I got when they were out to dinner at the beginning, and she asked the waiter, she's like, "Do you really think we should have had a good dinner?" And he was like,
So
yeah.
what?
No, I got
liked it
secondhand
because
embarrassment. I was like, "Shut the fuck up, Carol. Shut the fuck
I
up."
don't
And she
think
was like,
that they were really embarrassed so much about it.
I was embarrassed.
though.
She had like such, and then even Alice was like, "Carol, what are you doing?" The poor waiter.
Well, because obviously they at that point they're representing our perspective on that, but
I
she
know.
is all about this. Like, well, what's your real thoughts? It's not that she's like attacking the waiter. She wants to know what he really thinks. The same way that right before we see them, they're like antagonizing Ted
I know, they
over
pissed me
what he
off.
really thinks about Carol's outfit.
Yeah,
or
and
hair or
Bob's
whatever.
hair.
And Bob's hair. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just like, "Shut up." So that's what
No,
Carol's
I thought
below
it was
Alice.
interesting. That was part of the point of the film, though. Like,
No,
that was
I
part
know.
of
I
the-
just got embarrassed, and I was like, "I don't want to watch this. The scene better not go any longer."
Well, I liked this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I do, now that you mention it, want to know where it falls on your Bible study list.
Yeah. So we've seen 10 Bible study movies, which is crazy because that's 20
Yeah.
weeks worth of. No, that's
Well, 2 of them we did in the same time.
yeah. Oh, you're right. Okay.
Which I think at some point we'll probably do 2 again at a time down the line. Right
I
now we've
think
been
so.
doing 1, but it will happen for like a special, maybe
honestly, probably
episode.
soon because I'm on winter break in like 2 weeks. Like I probably
We'll
pretty
see.
soon.
We'll see.
All right. In 10th place, I have The Jazz Singer, then La Adelante, The Great Dictator, Fat City, The Americanization of Emily, and at 5th, Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. And then Shock Corridor, Get Out, M, and in first place, Being John Malkovich.
Interesting.
What do you got?
In 10th place, I have The Jazz Singer. Shit movie.
Yep.
In 9th place, La Adelante. In 8th place, Fat City. In 7th place, The Americanization of Emily. In 6th place, Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice and Horst. In 5th place, I have M. In 4th place, I have Shock Corridor. In 3rd place, Being John Malkovich. In 2nd place, The Great Dictator. And in 1st place, Get Out.
So a lot
It's
of ours are
been-
very similar, except for The Great Dictator. That's the only one that's kind of off.
Like in terms...
they're all like 1 or 2 apart from each other, like my list and your list, except for The Great Dictator. I have it number 8 and you have number 1. Everything else is like 1 away or the same spot.
Or The Jazz Singer.
Yeah, the Jazz. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's been very interesting, different kinds of films. Some of these, really big inspirations, big parts of film history. Other parts of these more obscure art house kind of films. Either way, it has been a lot of fun watching them, whether you like them or
Absolutely.
not. It's been fun watching them, honestly. It's been fun having you, the fans at home, involved. So please keep commenting numbers 23 to 1265. And next week, we're going to pick another one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for more Bible study. I
Yes,
love this
sir.
segment.
I love picking the numbers. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's gonna
Just
be,
what are we
and
gonna
because I love
get?
the suspense of like, ooh, what's the next
Exactly.
one to join the film Bible segment.
Exactly.
So don't forget to check that off in your Bible. I
I
checked
know.
that
I
one
have
off
to
of
do
mine.
all of them. I haven't checked off a single one since we
Bro,
started.
you
I
gotta
tend to check
keep
off.
up. You gotta
I
keep
know.
up. That's the fun of it.
Let's
And
talk numbers,
shout
bro.
out to the New York Times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk numbers. Let's do it. This is going to be a fun segment this week. The box office numbers, the 5-day weekend of November 26th through the 30th, Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Always a great time of year for movies. Obviously, we had a big release and a lot of other blockbusters that are looking to hang on. So let's get to those numbers.
Lots of movies to talk about.
In fifth place, making $5.5 million in its third weekend of release, is The Running Man, a film
Staying alive.
you love a lot.
I love it.
It's hanging on in fourth place in its fourth weekend of release, making $6.625 million. Predator: Badlands. Trying to stick around through the holidays. In third place, making another $10 million in its third weekend of release, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. So all of those are films that are kind of a step behind the two big blockbusters out right now.
Yeah, and the real question is, where's Wicked? That's the question.
Where's Wicked? Look, it was a presumptuous prediction.
Last week
wrong.
you said Wicked is above Zootopia.
I felt wrong about it immediately.
I know,
after
you were like,
we recorded.
that was probably a mistake.
I was like, that was going to be a mistake. I didn't realize how big of a mistake it was.
Okay.
In second place, in its second weekend of release, is Wicked for Good. We'll talk about this for a second here, because it suffered a massive week 2 drop. So it pulls in $93 million. That's over the 5-day weekend. If I go, they don't do the percentage drops for the long ones, just for the standard 3-day. If I go to the standard 3-day weekend to see what Wicked for Good did, that's a 57.3 drop from its opening weekend, which is definitely steeper than expected, especially with it not looking like it's going to get any better.
Yeah, I thought it was going to keep some momentum.
The film. It's still sitting at a solid 393 million worldwide. That is slightly outpacing the first film. However, you have Zootopia 2, which we'll get to in a second, and Stranger Things, home on Netflix. Both of these doing big numbers, pulling a lot of the audience away from Wicked 2. So definitely, strong numbers, but the big test will be week 3. Can Wicked for Good maintain any kind of momentum, consistent, stay in the box office? It does have the strong word of mouth. What is the strength of rewatches at this point that we're looking at for this film?
Yeah.
It's not going to take back that first place, but if it can maintain second or at the very least top 5 for a while, where can it finish? So we'll monitor that. And Jack, this is going to be fun. In first place, in its first weekend of release, finishing top of the box office, is Zootopia 2. We got to go over these numbers. It opens to a smashing $156 million domestic over the 5-day weekend, and a bombastic $556.4 million worldwide, making it one of the biggest launches in box office history. These are mind-boggling boggling numbers that we're talking about. So we're going to dive deeper into them. It's the biggest opening weekend for an animated film of all time. It's in large part due to the massive start it received in China, opening to an incredible $272 million, one of the largest openings ever for a Hollywood film in that market. It was the first Hollywood film to ever pass $100 million in a single day in China. Avengers Endgame, was the previous record holder in that market.
Wow.
It's already the seventh highest grossing Hollywood film of all time there, passing the entire Chinese run of the first Zootopia film in just 5 days.
Holy shit.
A big reason for this is due to Zootopia Land in Shanghai Disneyland that opened up recently, doing massive numbers and bringing a lot of hype for this franchise. It is the fourth biggest opening weekend in all of cinema history. So moving away from China to the worldwide market, this is the fourth biggest opening weekend for a film of all time, behind only Endgame, Avatar: The Way of Water, and Spider-Man: No Way Home. So it still tops other giants like Infinity War, The Force Awakens. This movie
Yeah.
having a massive opening weekend.
I'm not
And
surprised.
when you think about, and you saw it, so you're going to tell us more about the film itself, but in a little bit. But think about the budget. This costs between $150 to $200 million. Somewhere there's different projections. It's somewhere between there. It costs between $150 $200 to make. It's already blown past its break-even point by far.
Oh, yeah.
This is tracking, like you said, to be the next billion-dollar hit for Disney, thanks to huge pre-sales, big holiday turnout for families, and with no real big release this weekend that I can think of, like this next upcoming weekend, I should say. It's going to continue to dominate, especially as it opens to more international markets. And it's going to dominate the Chinese market. It's going to dominate the American market. This film could end up being the biggest film of the year from a financial standpoint.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the first one made so much money and it's just like a phenomenon. And the second one's just going to be the same thing.
Yeah, it's just crazy because, Disney has had kind of a lackluster last few sequels from a financial standpoint.
Inside Out 2. That was a big standout for them.
Disney animation.
Oh.
Disney,
Yeah.
like, obviously, the Pixar is, you're right, but that's more of just a distribution thing. From a Disney animated standpoint, they haven't really had a hit like this recently for a sequel. Both, obviously, the raving reviews it has received, which are also being reflected in this massive box office haul that it is generating. And this buzz is only going to continue. That Zootopia 2 is going to be one of the biggest films of the whole holiday season.
Yeah. I mean, should I just get into my review?
Yeah, so those are your box office numbers for the holiday weekend, November 26th through the 30th, Thanksgiving 2025. Congratulations to Zootopia 2 on winning the box office. Probably the first of a string. Well, we'll see with Avatar, actually. I will just say that.
Yeah, when is that? Is that December 12th or something?
Avatar, Avatar Fire and Ash releases December 19th.
19th. Another Disney product. So
yeah, you're so
Disney's
right.
ranking in the money.
So we'll see how that competes with it. That's going to certainly take a lot of the domestic box office.
Yeah.
But overseas, we'll see. That's going to be a really neck and neck competition. It's going to be so much fun. But yes, congrats to Zootopia 2. Jack, you saw this movie. I haven't gotten to see it. I'll see it this week. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah. So this will be my spoiler-free quick review of Zootopia 2. I gave it 7.5 out of 10. I think the first one is significantly better. I think the first one's like a 9.5 out of 10, but this one was fun. I enjoyed it. The new characters are great. Andy Samberg, Kiwi Kwan. How do you not love both of those people? This movie is also stacked with just voice actors who you know, or like famous actors who you know, who have one line in the movie. It's crazy. Like they're just showing up, like the
cameos.
credits roll, just cameos, but like 40 of them, not just like one person. It's like a lot. But the new characters are great. The old characters come back. They're greater than ever. Disney gave in to the sexual weirdness of the first one that people loved. Like, people wanted to bang Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde.
Mm-hmm.
Judy Hopps is significantly thicker in this one. She's like 20% thicker. Nick Wilde has a whole scene where he's looking at himself in the mirror and he's like looking good, bro. Like it's very. I feel like they gave into that now. They're like, fuck it. Like people want to fuck these animals. Let's make them hotter. It's very weird. And the way there's just a scene you'll see it eventually. There's a scene where you're like, why did they have her in that position? Like it's
Oh
very
no.
strange.
Oh no.
But anyway, it's a good movie.
How's
The
the
problem
animation?
The animation I thought would look so much better, but it just looks like the first, which is good. It's great.
So
The
it's
first one
not
looks great.
really. I mean, the first one came out almost 10 years ago, so it's not really like
Like,
massively improved upon. They don't take any more like ambitious risks with it.
not really. I mean, it's not like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it pretty much looked exactly the same. I mean, I was looking out for it because I love the first one's animation. And I think the first one is a little bit ahead of its time. You know, it looks better than a lot of stuff that year, but it looks the same. So, and it doesn't look bad by any means, but it still looks pretty much exactly the same as the first one. Um, but I really wanted to talk about the plot. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think the plot is this movie's greatest strength and also its greatest weakness. It's pretty much a rehash of the first plot, and which is like animal racism. You know, the first one is prey and predators don't get along, and predators are the bad guys, and prey is the good guys, and the prey is weak, and the predators are strong. Blah blah blah. You're a bunny, you can't do this. You're a fox, you can't do that. The second one, same thing. Reptiles are bad. No one trusts them. They're reptiles. They're disgusting. They're bad. Um, and it's Judy and Nick. No one believes them. They're the ones on the case. Nobody believes them. Just like the first one, nobody believes them. They have to prove it themselves. It's People love that plot from the first one, and I think the first one does it better. But I think because it's such a beloved plot and it's very easy to do in a world of Zootopia with all the different animals and species, that they just do it again. And they managed to do it well, but it was kind of boring to me because I wanted something new and it just didn't feel new, or I didn't feel the magic of the first one. Like, I don't know.
So you like the first one better?
I do, which I think people are starting to say they like the second one better.
That's what I was going to say, because it seems that the overall reception, I mean, people love both films, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, this has had a stronger, like we talked about the box office being as strong of an opening as we could imagine. Well, honestly, also the reception of the film itself has been even stronger than I expected, especially for a modern day Walt Disney animated sequel, where lately those, you look at Moana 2, you look at Ralph Breaks the Internet, things
Uh-huh.
like that. I mean, some of them have been okay or whatever, but they just haven't really been successful. And that's been kind of a widely agreed upon opinion.
Yeah.
But then you see Zootopia 2 comes out, and suddenly there's just this massive praise. I mean, certainly if we talk awards, the film's going to probably be at least, very least, nominated, if not the favorite for best animated film now, right? Like,
I think you're right. I do think the biggest thing about I think why people love this movie, as far as I can tell, is just the characters. I mean, Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde are the goats. Like they are some peak characters. And yeah, the plot is just the same as the first one. It's just animal racism,
how's the voice
animal
acting?
discrimination. The voice acting, amazing. Jason Bateman. I don't even know the other girl's name. The one who voices Judy Hopps.
Isn't it
Uh,
America Ferrera?
no. Her name's like Ginny or something.
Oh, Jennifer Goodwin.
Jennifer Goodwin. Yeah. She's
That's
fantastic.
right.
I think I think I like the voice acting in the first one better, but I don't know. It's it's really this is a good movie. This is a fun movie and it's definitely enjoyable, but I think the first one is just leagues ahead of this one. But there's really not much to complain about besides it's not the first one. You know what I mean? So, which is maybe not a fair complaint, but it's hard not to compare when it is the same exact plot.
So,
Just
but well, no, I do think that you might have a fair criticism. So, what you're basically trying to say is that you love this world, you love these characters, but it just does. There's nothing. There wasn't another story to tell here at the moment that
there
you didn't
wasn't.
think there wasn't.
And This isn't a spoiler. They're setting up a third one, and
Well, the money tells me to set up
yeah,
a third one.
exactly. They're setting up a third one, and from what I can tell from how they set it up, it's probably going to be the same plot again. So I do think they're going to run out of ideas. If they don't switch up soon, it's going to run. I mean, look what Frozen 2 did. Like, that was so different from the first movie, and it was awesome. And, like, Moana 2 was kind of similar to the first one, and that movie didn't do well. Like, I don't
Right,
know.
but Frozen
They just,
2 didn't really get as much of a that had a mixed reception.
I liked
So
it. And
I liked it as well, but I mean, I didn't love it. So
I just think this movie's just a rehash, and it kind of tells me it's a money grab, but I can see why people love it. So like I respect the love for it. And Kiwi Kwan, I need him in everything. It's just his voice, and he's playing this adorable little snake, but I need him in every project ever.
yeah, his resurgence in Hollywood since Everything Everywhere All at Once has been a sight to behold. I do wish he has been in some. I mean, it sounds like Zootopia 2 is still a really great project. Some of
Uh-huh.
his other projects post, Oscar win have been less than desirable. But
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's back. That's what matters
Me
most, man.
too. Me
So
too.
I'm
So
just
so
glad he's having
that's
fun and working.
yeah, I love him, and I mean everyone in this movie is great. It's like John Leguizamo comes in and him playing another animal. My girlfriend was like, "Is that Sid the Sloth?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. Now he's an anteater." Like it's just so funny to see him. Um, but I do really like this movie, and I think you should definitely go check it out. It's a really easy watch, and it's a good time. And especially if you love this world, the world building in this movie, I will say, is fantastic. They really expand upon the lore of Zootopia, and at the beginning of the movie, they're celebrating 100 years of Zootopia, and it's like, holy shit, this there's a lot of history here, and they really go through that. It's very cool to see. So definitely check it out. Um, and that's my review of Zootopia too.
Yeah, I was sad that I didn't catch it for the episode. I mean, I'll probably see it by the time next we record for next
Yeah,
episode. So I'll definitely give some more thoughts, and then you can give some spoilerly thoughts that you have.
yeah, because I can't get into everything.
We can dive more into that the same way that all the films that we're talking about today, when the other one sees it, because at a certain point, the other person, I think, will have both seen all the films that we've talked about today. So,
Definitely.
um, we'll dive more into spoilers, but I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to seeing it and comparing it myself. Speaking of which, yet another film that you saw this past week that is a new release, called Eternity, starring Elizabeth Olsen and Miles Teller. Another one that I did not get a chance to see quite yet. But why don't you tell us about this?
Yeah, I think this one's gonna be more of a conversation because I do have some questions for you. But yeah, I saw Eternity. I gave it 9.5. No, I gave it 9 out of 10. I'm thinking about it. It's a 9 out of 10.
I was like, wow.
Eternity is a 9 out of 10. It was great. It was emotional. It was very funny. Miles Teller is fucking hilarious in this movie. Um, and like the way it is that Miles Teller's playing an old man because and this is in the trailer, so it's no spoilers, spoiler free review. Uh, him and his wife die, and when you die at the age of like 80, and they were married for 65 years, so yeah, whatever the math is on that. They were married for 65 years, and they both die within a week of each other, and they go to this basically train station afterlife, and that's where you pick your eternity, and you have to pick your eternity and you stay there forever. There was so many eternities that were like on the screen that you could see in the back. There was MAGA world. There was no, it's all thing. There was like Nazi free Germany world. There was Paris
Nazi-free
1960s
Germany.
world. And then there's other ones. It's like cotton candy world. Like all these eternities were like it's whatever you want. It's like your version of heaven. Beach world, whatever. Mountain world, and you have to pick your eternity, and you have 7 days to do it. And then when she gets there, she finds him. Oh my god, and they're younger now. It's like you're in like a different. You're in the body you were when you were the happiest. So they're their younger selves. So just to have the younger actors, obviously. Um, and she sees her dead husband who died 2 years before she married Miles Teller in the Korean War. So the whole plot is that those two are basically fighting over Elizabeth Olsen, someone she never got to live a life with, versus someone she lived 65 years with. You know what I mean? So it's very funny. Miles Teller's playing this old man. He's hilarious. My question to you is Callum Turner. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Is he handsome?
Is he handsome?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let me go look at a picture of him.
Look at a picture of him. He's dating Dua Lipa, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's so true. I forgot about that.
He's
Oh
Mr.
man,
Dua Lipa.
is that why you're asking me this?
Well, I just there's
Because of Dua
something
Lipa?
there's something that took me out of this movie that nobody agreed with.
Um, yeah, I could see the appeal. I mean, he's got the jawline. He's got, you know, he's got nice curls. I mean, I think it depends.
He's good looking.
I think he could pass for good looking.
Who's better
Of
looking,
course he
him or
can.
Miles Teller?
That's kind of tough actually because
Really?
Callum Turner's got like a nice refined jaw. You know, he's. Let me look at Miles Turner now.
Miles
Hold on.
Teller's so much hotter, bro.
Let me look at Miles Turner. Well, I guess it's hard because you have fucking or Miles. Yeah, yeah. Why did I say Miles Turner? I
Callum
fucking
Turner.
yeah. I know. I was saying that's a fucking basketball player. You gotta think about Miles Teller. I know you got him in Top Gun, I guess, where like
He
obviously.
pulls off the stash. What do
So
you think?
everyone you were with said Callum Turner over Miles Teller, except
No,
for
so
you.
everyone I was with said Miles Teller, but the movie, this is not spoilers, they just say it a million times. They're like, he's so much hotter than Miles Teller's character, because Miles Teller's getting jealous. They're like, he's so much hotter than you, he's so much hotter than you. And even Elizabeth Olsen, every 5 minutes, she's like, wow, I forgot how good you looked. You're so hot, you're so hot. And I'm like, he's not that hot. Like, he's a good looking guy, but they're making it like he's fucking Zac Efron in his prime, dude.
No, yeah, I mean Miles Teller is, I mean, more attractive, I would say
I
in
think so
general.
too. And they were
But
pointing out specifically how Miles Teller's not as attractive.
does the film paint his character as a unattractive person? I mean, you say he's an
Uh,
old man, right? So he's
well, he's an old man
in
inside
a
Miles
young
Teller's body.
inside. Yeah, yeah, but like
Yeah, personality wise, yes. He's an old man. He's all grumpy all the time, like that kind of thing.
right. So do they try to make him as physically unattractive as they can,
No, he's just
or
got a little stubble. Like he looks good, bro. I don't know. I didn't
uh...
get it. Anyway, that doesn't really have anything to do with the review. I just saw when I was watching the movie, I was like, is nobody else hearing this? I was like, what the fuck? Why do they keep like shitting on Miles Teller? He's way better looking. But it was a good movie. Like I really enjoyed it. The ending kind of lost me a little bit. But I feel like movies tend to do that nowadays. Like they just drag it on a little bit. But it was funny. It was emotional. I almost cried, dude. Like it gets me. Uh, I think you would really enjoy it, and I definitely think you should watch it. And yeah, it was a very nice surprise. I love the acting. The acting was great. Dude, Elizabeth Olsen, we all know she's a great actress, but holy shit, she's a great actress.
Yeah,
It,
no, I mean she's we've seen her in I loved her in the show Love and Death on HBO Max. She's fantastic in that. So I mean, she is very well proven. She comes from a family of acting and yeah, she's phenomenal.
she really is.
The movie and the whole concept, it kind of reminds me of the show The Good Place. You know that show?
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I love that show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's really interesting just to think about. Like it's really hard because they give you a week. You have to decide where you want to spend eternity.
how does it work with their appearance? Do they choose how they look? Because
No,
like
no,
so,
they're
Callum Turner's character looks the way he did when he died. I mean, obviously, he looks nice, but
yes,
he's
he
the
looks the way
age.
he did.
Whereas Elizabeth Olsen and Miles Teller, you said their characters grew to be an old couple, and now they look young. So how does that work?
So your character is they look the way they explain, because you need young Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen. So they
Yeah,
have it be like you're the age you were when you were happiest. So there's a scene where
that's so
like
cheesy.
I know, so it's like you're the age you were when you're the happiest, so that way they could look they're all the same age, you know? But she's technically spent 65 years with him. There's a scene where
She was happiest right when she met him, and everything went downhill after that, huh?
there's a scene where there's like a little kid, and Miles Teller's like, he's probably 90, get the fuck out of here. And then the kid's like, I died when I was 9. Like it's just funny because it's a weird concept because you could be any age there. Like there's like 5-year-olds walking around, and it's like
Yeah.
that's fucked up. But they were probably like imagine dying and you become a 13-year-old, and you're like, because technically that's when I was happy. It's like you don't choose. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I mean, that is kinda fucked up,
Like
but
I
I
don't
mean,
want to be
if
a
you
grown ass man, and now I'm like 13.
right, but if that's when you were the happiest, then maybe it doesn't like, you wouldn't care because you're
Maybe,
as
but you're
happy as
probably
you've ever
happiest because of all
been.
your friends and the games you could play. Now you're just a kid.
Yeah, but what if you have all that in your eternity?
Maybe that would be a good eternity.
You know? So then,
Yeah,
like, the rest of your eternity is you with your friends, playing games, eating, like,
that's not
Cheetos,
bad.
having a good time.
It's tough, dude. That would, I mean, they make it a point to see how stressful that choice is, but
Well,
it's
especially for her who was, like, too
yeah. So she basically
I
has to
mean,
choose who
because
to spend eternity with.
the whole gimmick is, oh, everyone has one happily ever after, but, like, you have two. Like, that's the gimmick. So, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like just the premise of this movie. I just want to ask you. So she spent 65 years with Miles Teller. She has grandkids with him, kids, grandkids, great grandkids with him. They died a week apart, so they were together a week ago. Um, she was with Callum Turner for like 1 year, maybe 2 years, and she hasn't seen him in 65 years. But that was her first love. Like, who do you think she should go with, not knowing about this movie?
well, you can't really react to what I say
I'm
because I
not. Well, I'll
don't.
tell you right now. When I went into this movie, I'm not saying whether my opinion changed or not, but like to me, it's pretty obvious Miles Teller,
Yes. I mean,
right?
you can't replace 65 years of marriage.
The movie does a good job of making Callum Turner's
Uh,
character like you make it. It's actually a hard decision. Like it's not like,
Like,
but
they make a case for it
they make a
almost.
good case for both of them, and it's a pretty even case. So it's very interesting the way they do it. But yeah, like just the idea, I'm like, why the fuck would you pick anyone else? That's your husband for life, and he's kind of a dick, but like still, he doesn't like beat the
I
shit
mean,
out of
is he
her
a
or
dick? 'Cause
anything.
yeah, I know. I mean,
He's
like,
like a
I just
grumpy old man. That's why.
right, but is she not then also kind of like a grumpy old not grumpy,
No,
but
she's like a
she's
sweet
like
old
a
woman,
yeah, okay, yeah.
but still, it's like I don't know. I feel like it's
Yeah,
obvious, but whatever.
you would think,
You would think, but
but
it's a very
I
good. They
mean, if they
really,
explore the dynamics of their relationship,
yeah,
maybe they had issues in life or whatever. Who knows? So
they
I mean,
really
I'm
subvert.
excited about this one. I like I said, it sounds like a cool concept. Reminds me of a show that I like, so it's one that I want to check out. It's
It's
on my radar.
materialists for dead people.
Dude, honestly, yeah,
It
it's like
really
what
is.
Materialist and Beetlejuice combined.
Yeah, it's like the ex-boyfriend, the new boyfriend. Like that's literally it, bro.
Dude, that's pretty funny. Yeah, if only Celine Song directed it.
Yeah, yeah. You
Um,
definitely got to check it out. I think you would like it a lot.
yeah.
It's
So
my,
no,
it's like my fifth favorite movie of the year.
fifth
Yeah,
favorite.
dude,
Wow. What?
it's
So what are the
great.
only ones you have above it?
I
Sinners.
have real quick my fuck it top five favorite movies of the year.
Well,
I'll do mine and you'll do yours after your reviews.
the yeah. All right. Yes, because we still have time before the end of the year because we're gonna have a uh big like final episode of the year
Oh,
where
it's
we
number six.
oh
It's number
damn just
six.
outside it's your honorable mention.
Yeah. All right. Top five movies of 2025 so far with an honorable mention.
So far we're 11 months in.
Avatar's coming out soon. In sixth place, so this honorable mention, I do have Eternity. Love it. Fifth place, Superman. Fourth place, Fantastic Four. Gonna get hate for that. Third place, Frankenstein. Second place, Train Dreams. And first place, Sinners. So that's where it is. It's number six. It's right below all those bad Larrys.
We'll get to mine later.
Yeah, we will. So that's my review. So let's get into some of your sauce.
Well, I spent the last week instead of watching some of the more blockbuster films. I mean, well, Zootopia is a blockbuster. I wouldn't really call Eternity a blockbuster, but you know what I mean. More of
Uh-huh.
the mainline films, mainstream films. And I spent my time watching the Josh films, the Oscar hopefuls that are in theaters right now. because I always want to experience them on the big screen and get them as soon as possible so I can have my opinions throughout the entire awards race. And I watched two very big Oscar hopefuls and big contenders this year. I'm going to start with Sentimental Value. Sentimental Value, so I'll give my ratings and spoiler-free review. I give this film nine really, I'd even say 9.5 houses out of 10. I'll give this 9.5 houses out of 10. This is an absolutely remarkable film from Joachim Trier. Okay. It's an international film. It's Norwegian. But it is remarkable. So basically the premise of the film you have these two sisters, Nora and Agnes, and they have, their mother passes away. And that funeral, that passing prompts their estranged father to come back into the picture. So he comes back. His name is Gustav, and he's a once like renowned filmmaker, who's kind of like down on his luck, doesn't really have much going in his career at this point. So he's trying to reconnect with his daughters, and he offers his daughter Nora, who's a stage actress, a role in his new film that he wrote about, like basically wrote for her.
Okay, nepotism.
Yeah, basically, it is
All
kind of like
right.
nepotism in the movie. It's funny that the dad is played by Stellan Skarsgård,
Oh
and
yeah,
his
all his
sons
kids are in
are
movies.
like in movies and shit right now. But she turns down the role,
Mm,
and so this prompts him to start working on the film with a big young Hollywood star instead.
makes sense to me.
So that's what the film is about. And I think that this film is a real honest and tender look and exploration of these crossroads between generational trauma in a family and artistic expression. It was really cool because you kind of have this like character study almost of the dad. So the dad is Gustav, and yeah, like I said, the daughter's Nora, and I mean you have Agnes as well. But it's really primarily about Nora and Gustav. And so it's interesting because he really, like it wants to make an effort, it's not, uh, disingenuine by any means,
He's not a piece of shit.
it's not that he's not ever been, he clearly was absent, right?
Yeah.
And yet it's one of those situations where he's trying to like make up for the sins of his
Mm,
past.
I gotcha.
Um,
Redemption arc.
and so I think he's trying to find reconciliation through artistic expression. And the reality is that pain, in many ways, and grief formulates differently and expresses itself differently in each individual, right?
Mm.
And so you see that kind of come clashing in this film, and it makes for some really intense emotional stuff. And the narrative in general is really just littered with themes of sentiment for the past, for places, for people. And you see the center of this with the house that they live in, their family home. And of course, I'm not going to go into the details of what goes down there and what happened, but it's been in their family a long time, and they hold on to this place. They're trying to figure out what to use it for. He wants to use it for the film. The daughters, they want to kind of move on, and there's so much that like both happiness and pain that exists here. And it's interesting because the film builds the house as a character as well. It's not like just a setting, it's a character.
Was this
It
Monster
exists.
House?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. I kind of thought about that a little bit too.
Does the carpet come out? It's his
Um,
tongue.
yeah, right. It's like with the old man inside and
Yeah.
everything. Dude, goated movie as well.
Facts.
But um but it really is like a character itself, maybe even the most important character, because the film makes a point of how family is a sense of home, and the home is kind of part of that family. And so it really serves not just as the setting, but as part of what's going on in these relationships and how it influences that. So I was really moved by a lot of
Wow.
just these ideas that were being played with this film. It goes back and forth between Norwegian and English. It is in both languages as it plays around with, being a film that has to straddle the line of international, small time production with larger distribution. And it actually has, like, in its own subplot way, deals with that. It talks about like Netflix and deals with that. Him trying to get this movie made. Really interesting. So, um, it 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 felt very personal. The film felt very personal. Um, I really tremendously enjoyed it. The cinematography was really beautiful and added to the story. Uh, Renata Rentsev, I think is how you say her name. Renata Rentsev. She's the lead. She's fantastic. Super emotional in this film. Stellan Skarsgård is great as well. Elle Fanning is in it. She is the young
Huh.
Hollywood actress. And I really like I think she has a lot of interesting different roles that she plays, and I think her as the outsider to these family dynamics and seeing her try to like learn them, study them as an actress, that was really interesting to see play out. And so generally, but honestly, the sleeper performance and one of the best like supporting performances of the year, and like the definition of what a supporting performance actually looks like, because I think a lot of times these supporting performances are just leads, co-leads
Yeah,
that they
right.
don't want to clog up in the, like, is Ariana Grande really supporting in
Yeah,
Wicked for Good?
like, you get, like,
No.
Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? Like
Yeah, exactly. But like this is an actual supporting performance. Inga Ibsdottir Liljash, the sister, she plays the
okay.
sister Agnes.
Uh-huh.
She is genuinely just so in touch with her visual emotions, her output, the way that she pushes a lot of this narrative and serves as like, the backbone, the reliable backbone of the family, of especially, with Nora and Gustav clashing. I found her performance all the more impactful and important to making this film work. So I think that Sentimental Value is just a fantastic piece of art that we are getting. Joachim Trier had another film with Renata Rentsev, The Worst Person in the World. I think it's on Netflix. I'm not 100%
Oh, I've
sure.
heard of that.
That did really well. It's on my watch list. And so this is a from what other people were saying, a more deeply personal film. It felt personal for me, felt it for him.
Did you cry?
No, none of this. Um,
Sure, buddy.
no, I would say if I did, trust me, we're getting there. But Sentimental Value was still just a great like I said, great piece of art. It's going to be a huge contender in the Oscar race this season, rightfully so. Renata Rentsev should definitely be nominated. Stellan Skarsgård's being considered a potential favorite for Best Supporting Actor early on.
Ooh.
Don't know.
I need to see this movie, man.
Don't know if I agree with that personally,
Okay.
but they also might want to reward him as a career. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
use this
they
to
do
reward
that.
reward
Yeah.
his whole career.
Which
He
I
is
think is kinda
great.
cheap, but
I totally agree. I mean, I
yeah.
think he's great in the film. I don't know if he would be my favorite in what I think is a very crowded supporting actor pool,
Uh-huh.
but he is still fantastic nonetheless. I love Stellan Skarsgård. It's a great film. I'm very excited for you to see this one. Because I think like I said, there's just so many interesting family dynamics
Uh-huh.
played here. And dealing with the trauma of their past years later. And the performances are just so heartbreaking, so emotional, so connecting.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, there's not gonna be a lot of time when I haven't seen your 2 movies and you haven't seen mine. Like, at some point, we would have seen all these movies very soon because I'm trying to see them as soon as possible 'cause I
Yeah,
this sounds
absolutely.
gas, and the next one that you're gonna review sounds fucking awesome, so
Yeah, so that's Sentimental Value. Definitely highly recommend. Definitely if you can see it in a theater while it's out. I know these get slow rollouts with show times, especially in the
Uh-huh.
holidays. So keep checking your show your local listings. But Sentimental Value, this is a powerhouse of a film, and a rightful place as one of the best of the year. You know, it really gives me shades of Ingmar Bergman. Ingmar Bergman, the late great filmmaker, and he's become one of my all time favorites ever. So this was great. And you're right, it's not the only one I saw. There's another Oscar hopeful that online is starting to be considered the villain of the season. Although
The villain.
there's always an Oscar villain every
Everyone's rooting
year.
against it now.
Yeah, but I don't know
Oh, wow.
why. I totally disagree. And that's Hamnet, the new Chloe Zhao film starring Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal that just came out. I'm going to give spoiler-free ratings and reviews for this film as well. And I will give it 10 soliloquies out of 10.
Okay, Shakespeare. Okay.
10 soliloquies out of 10. Oh man, I think we have another masterpiece on our hands with this film. You know, Nomadland was a bit of a controversial film for people, and especially as a Best Picture winner back in 2021. But I really liked Nomadland because it felt very laid back. It felt very stripped down and personal. And Hamnet is a bit different for Chloe Zhao. Obviously, she's coming off Eternals. You know, there was a bit of a, you know,
Forgot she did that.
not great.
I totally forgot she did that.
Yeah, you'll watch this and you would not even believe for a second it's the same filmmaker.
Wow.
Yeah, she brilliantly crafts an absolute moving piece of art. So I'll start at the center, and that's Jessie Buckley. The Best Actress race is over.
That's what I'm hearing.
Case closed.
Wow.
Shut. Done. It's not an argument. I know that people are talking about Rose Byrne in that film. What is it? If I had legs, I'd kick you.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of fantastic things about that too.
The Conan O'Brien movie.
That is the Conan O'Brien movie. I forgot about that. But I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to Cynthia Erivo, who's great and Wicked for Good. This is done. This is done. I mean,
I'm happy. I'm happy it was that good that you're feeling like this.
She does things on there that I can't even imagine. Just there is such a. I used it for Sentimental Value. It's kind of similar here as well, though. A raw emotional performance with hers. And yes, it's not just the way she delivers her dialogue or her, you know, visual expressions, but her physical manifestations. There's, you know, where scenes where she's doing very intensive stuff. There's a scene where she gives birth, right? You know, it's not really a spoiler to things that go on. There's a scene where that happens, though, and just what goes on in that scene. I'm not going to talk about what goes on or anything, but just that scene itself, her acting is next level. And everyone talks about the end. I mean, I'm going to get to that in a little bit, and I'll talk about the end without even talking about what happens in the end. But
Yes, please.
Jessie Buckley, absolutely, I think this should be a case closed race. And to move on to the rest of the cast, while we're talking this part of it, Paul Mescal, I mean, you know, he deserves his flowers too. This is a film where he's really playing to his strengths, I feel like. So it's not that we haven't seen this kind of performance from him before, but nonetheless, I think he's going to be one that gets underappreciated from this film because he's not necessarily the best performance if you have to rank it and be so arbitrary about it. But nonetheless, like, he makes us better, you know, and with you know, he adds that next side of emotion as well that is necessary. The real standout, the true standout next to Jessie Buckley is the young Jacoby Jupe or Jupe. I don't know how you say that. Jupe is Jupe. I think it's Jupe.
I'd say Jupe. Yeah.
I think it's Jacoby Jupe. He plays so. Let me tell you what it's about. Basically, Hamnet is based off of a novel that was written. It's a fictionalized version of the tale of William Shakespeare and his wife, who in real life was named Anne Hathaway, but in the film her name is Agnes. And it's about their life and their it's kind of just about their love and the tragedies that they go through and the inspiration for his work. This is kind of another film that also is very interested in exploring the crossroads between grief and personal trauma with artistic expression.
You had a depressing weekend, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I needed to cheer myself up afterwards. With Planes, Train. Thank God with Thanksgiving I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I
Yeah.
needed that to
Oh, jeez.
pick me up. But yeah, no, this was by no means a happy movie. It's a tragedy. And one of the criticisms that I saw online that I think is weird is they called it emotionally manipulative. I don't think that's true. I don't think that the way that they portrayed a lot of the sequences that go down was meant to invoke those kind of emotions. And for that's
But
one argument.
what does that
But
even
also
mean, though?
I agree with you, because what does that mean to call it because it's supposed to make you feel sad. It's supposed to make you cry. But that's like saying a comedy is emotionally manipulative because it's
Yeah.
trying to make you laugh, or
Or
a
or
horror
f
movie is emotionally
exactly.
manipulative because it's trying to scare you.
Feel good movie, it's
Uh,
happy vibes. Oh, it's making me feel happy. Oh, it's emotionally manipulative. Like, what?
is that not the point of a film in a sense, to invoke emotion, to
That's
invoke a
his yeah,
response, to make you think, to
that's
make
a
you
stupid
feel?
complaint.
So I think when you watch Hamnet, yeah, it is depressing. It is by no means sad. You're not going to feel good when you come out of this movie. Um, it's a tragedy. It's based on a man who made a career, a life out of writing tragedies that
Yeah,
went on to become all-time classics. So,
yeah.
I don't really understand based on a novel that fictionalizes it, that's a tragedy itself. So I don't understand what that that criticism is really supposed to mean. It feels very surface level and not genuine to me. Because yeah, the film makes me sad. I cried. In fact, everyone in the theater did. When the movie ended, there's a real silence that hits, and then all I heard, it was crazy. I was like paralyzed in my chair, and I just heard like sniffling from like all around me. All you can hear is like everyone sniffling in the theater, and it's so powerful. Truly, such a powerful film, powerful ending. What it's trying to say, the way it resonates, it is just like tragically emotional and beautiful all the same. Such a brilliant, absolutely devastating screenplay. um I mean, and how grief and trauma, like I said, intersects with all this. It's just, oh man, just a remarkable film.
A 10 out of
um
10, man.
yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorites of the year. Like it's not the most entertaining watch. You know what I mean? Like
But
it's all about perception and expectation, right?
it was what
It,
you needed or wanted.
if you go into this movie thinking you're going to get action sequences and big exciting moments, that's not what you're getting. That's not what Hamnet is. You want that movie, there's plenty of movies out there for that. Hamnet, what I got what I wanted out of it, and I think a lot of people will too. Even if they don't 10 out of 10, I don't see a lot of people really criticizing this because it
Wow.
is just so genuinely compelling, deep, tragic, raw, powerful. I mean, there's a lot of parallels, obviously, to the timeless Hamlet itself. It makes me feel bad that we did I Hate Hamlet back in college.
Oh, yeah,
This
yeah.
silly play that I directed, stage play I directed back in college. It was a lot of fun. Almost made me feel bad, actually.
You're
That's
shitting
how
on it, bro?
insane this film was, in my opinion. This is one of the best films of the year.
Where can I ask where on your ranking for 2025 does it sit? Give me your top 5 plus honorable mention for
Just because
2025
you had the
movies.
honorable mention. My
Exactly.
honorable mention is Weapons.
Okay.
It's still hanging out there at 6. It just got booted out of the top 5. At 5th, it's Sentimental Value. Love Sentimental Value. That
Nice.
was a fucking fantastic movie. 4th place, One Battle After Another. Obviously, one of the biggest, best films of the year. 3rd place, Frankenstein. Doesn't get much better than that, Guillermo. 2nd place is Hamnet. Absolute magical experience. Not saying it's a great one, but it's still magical what Chloe Zhao is able to create here. And number 1, of course, still the best film of the year, Sinners. But the ending rivals the music scene from Sinners where
Whoa.
Miles Catan is singing and I lied to you. It rivals it. I don't know if it's better, but it rivals it.
We have the same number one and we have the same number three.
Yes.
But you had a great week, dude. 2 top 5 movies this year?
Well,
Or
let me
this
tell
week?
you, man, I'm not that surprised. I wasn't necessarily expecting 2 top 5. But I'm not surprised because this is the time of year when the big boy movies come out. It's none of these
I
like we've
know.
had some good movies this year, but this is the time where you get the ones that are truly a different level of film, where there is a next level meaning in whether there's deeper meaning or deeper level of entertainment or just something that stands out from some of the others. This is when those come out. I'm not that surprised. I'm just happy.
Out of the 2 movies that I saw in theaters this week, I was expecting a top 10, and I got a top 10. Number 6 is Eternity, and I really thought Zootopia would be in my top 10, and Eternity wouldn't. So I was pleasantly surprised as well.
My prediction is I don't expect either of those films to be in my top 10, but that I think at least one will be in my top 20.
I think that's very possible, and I think if I'm making predictions, Sentimental Value and Hamnet will both be top 10 for me, but one might crack top 5, but I don't know. My top 5 is pretty fucking stacked, in my
I
opinion.
think about which of those movies you would like more. And I think Sentimental Value is a more entertaining film from just a standard beat pace kind of thing. You
Uh
know what I
huh.
mean?
Uh huh.
It's rolling. But Hamnet, I think if you go into it and you like I said, as long as you're not going into it being like if you're I'm not saying that I'm not saying there aren't parts that are boring, there are parts that are a little blander, so to speak, but it's all part of the more stylistically than narratively. It's never really
Yeah.
narratively bland. I mean, so
Yeah.
as stylistically. I think you'll like them pretty evenly. I'm gonna pull up
Okay.
your list. I'm gonna pull up your list.
Well, my top 5 includes Fantastic Four and Superman, so it might be a
Yeah,
little different.
Fantastic Four is not a top 5 movie, but you have a personal love of it, and that will always play a factor in everyone's. So you probably won't have these. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hey, you put Train Dreams above. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that that's a phenomenal movie, and you put Frankenstein above, and so
Frankenstein was so good.
we'll see. But yeah,
So
Hamnet.
Hamnet.
Hamnet was, um, I mean, that's as close to a mindset changing film. I don't want to say life changing. Life changing always feels so drastic and
That's
hyperbolic.
I
But I think what people mean by life changing is mindset changing. It makes
I
you see
agree.
things. It's perspective changing.
Cuz I really
So
don't think there's life-changing as an adult. Like Spider-Man, Spider-Man Tobey Maguire movies changed my life because I was a child and I was molded by them. But yeah, movies nowadays can't really. I don't know. They changed my perspective. You're right. They changed the way I see the world.
yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying in terms of how easily influential children are and things
Yeah.
like that. But I don't know if I would totally agree. I mean, people can change. People mold and learn and evolve or devolve, and I don't want to. So, I mean, art is powerful, music is powerful, and films are powerful, and so I mean, I don't think that they necessarily mold us in a the way that you're describing as adults. But to say that they can't change us, I don't know that I agree with that. Again, it's more perspective, but perspective leads to real actionable change in one's life. So, there's a direct correlation in a sense there, and there is power in that.
So this
So,
is changing the way you see things, huh? Or the way you.
I mean, not in such a. It just makes me think about some of the events that happened in a more uh graphic way, and yeah, no, I can definitely see how, especially with a mixture of this and Sentimental Value, these filmmakers and the way that they visualize that crossroad of grief and expression yeah, it definitely makes me think about that in my own life and how I, kind of approach my own grief and my own expression and what that crossroads looks like. Maybe I've never really thought about it before. So, yeah, I would say absolutely this film has given a perspective change for me.
Love to hear that, and I can't wait to see it, dude.
I'm very excited for
You're
you.
you're hyping me to watch it, but like not to the point where I'm gonna be too. I'm not, my expectations are not insanely high, but I'm just very excited to see it.
I don't. I mean, I know, are you going to love it as much as me? That's to a
Maybe.
degree. Maybe we'll see. I mean, I don't know if you're always predisposed to liking a film like this, like me.
I don't
I
know.
said like a lot of times there, but uh,
I
but
like this film.
I like the like thing, but I one can only hope that this movie will do for you what it did for me, and what I think it will do for a ton of people. And the reason why it's the Oscar villain this year is because it is one of the only films that really does, like, this is such a great pool this year. But if we're looking at, like, there's a lot of films that could be nominated, but if we're looking at what could win as of right now,
Mhm.
the favorite, probably One Battle After Another.
For
That
picture,
seems, yeah, for Best Picture.
yeah,
That seems like our favorite at the
and
moment.
probably director.
Probably director, absolutely. And then the spoiler this year could be Hamnet. That is what people are saying. That is the vibe that seems to be going on right now, is that Hamnet is going to come on really strong, and voters, because you have to think about it that way. It's not just general public, it's voters. It's
Yeah,
Academy voters.
I know, and
Hamnet could do very well.
people like villainizing this is like this is the exact type of movie we should want to win Oscars. You know, I
Well,
mean,
I
I
think
haven't
people
seen
really
it,
want One
but
Battle After Another to win, which would be a great win too.
yeah,
I mean,
it'll
that would be
win
a great
stuff.
win.
But like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm so excited for this race, man. It's gonna be so. It's so. We're getting hype. The Oscar season is here. I feel like I've seen now a lot of the potential, especially between the two of us.
We've seen probably all of them at this point,
Except
besides the ones that haven't come out.
Except Avatar, if it's nominated, yeah, Marty Supreme.
Avatar
which
will
will
100%
probably
be
be
nominated for.
Oh, I
Are
don't
you talking
know.
about Best Picture?
Yeah.
I think you meant just Oscars in general.
No, I'm talking about Best Picture.
Oh, yeah, because I feel like we've seen so many of the Oscar, just in general nominations.
Well,
besides
sure,
the
yeah,
foreign films
but if
and
we're
the shorts and docs.
if we're looking at, well, even then, I've seen Sentimental Value. I've seen,
Yeah, and I've seen a couple documentaries.
oh, I don't know. I want to see It Was Just an Accident. You've seen a couple documentaries, so yeah, no, we this year we're kind of ahead of the game. But
so wait, so you're done with Hamnet?
so that's my review of Hamnet. Yeah,
Real quick before we move on, it's funny you mentioned Zootopia 2 at the Oscar. It's going up against K-pop Demon Hunters, man.
That's a good point. That's true. I didn't think about
Which you also need to see.
Yes, I did not think.
You should
about
watch
that.
that. It's like 80 minutes. You should just get it out, or like 90 minutes.
Yeah, well, I gotta watch Stranger Things.
Facts. You do need to watch Stranger Things. I think we should talk about Stranger Things next week if you could get it done.
I'll try. It's just been so much.
They're all like an
I've been
hour. There's no like super.
Well, I
long
watched.
episode.
I started the first episode, so I mean, I need to get through the show.
And I'm
we'll
really
get through it.
interested
I mean,
to
it's
know what
not.
you think.
Yeah, it's not. I haven't had it spoiled, thankfully. So
Good. Good. Okay. I didn't either, which was awesome. So
we'll get there. I mean, that's not going anywhere in terms of the
No.
cultural zeitgeist right now.
no, it'll be there.
But yeah, no. We'll see with K-pop Demon Hunters. We'll see with Hamnet. A lot of important pieces of cinema that have come out this year. It's been a pretty good year.
Yeah. You want to move on to some Seesaw?
Let's seesaw it up.
So
Why
we're
don't
gonna
you go first?
Yeah, we're gonna finish this episode like we always do. Say something we want to see and something we saw. Something that I want to see is coming out on Netflix very soon. Is Jay Kelly. So I think it had limited releases in theaters. But it's a movie starring Adam Sandler and George Clooney, and I'm hearing really good things. I'm hearing Oscar buzz. I've been hearing Adam Sandler supporting actor Oscar buzz, which is very surprising to me from a Netflix movie, considering he's like the Happy Gilmore Netflix guy. So
yeah, I'm not really sure where Jay Kelly is going to end up I mean, Netflix has a few different films that they're juggling this year.
yeah,
Obviously, Frankenstein is the top one they're going to be pushing.
yes,
So we'll see if the Jay Kelly buzz from an Oscar. I mean, I haven't seen it obviously because it had a limited release.
yeah. It comes out in like 2 weeks, I think. Like December 12th, I think, is when it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it though, because you just put Adam Sandler and George Clooney together, and you got really big names like that. And
Noah Baumbach behind the camera.
what
So
else has he done? Anything that I
he
would
did
know?
Marriage Story.
Never seen it, but
Francis Ha.
no,
He did the Meyerowitz stories of New and
he
Old.
lost me. But that's okay. This will be my introduction to him, and then maybe I'll watch something else.
He's married to Greta
Um,
Gerwig. That's why she's in
she's
his.
fantastic. I know
That's
her.
why she's in his movie. She's going to be in this movie.
I didn't know that, but it's exciting. I mean, George Clooney kind of playing like a meta version of himself. Like he's playing a washed up actor, but George Clooney isn't washed up. Obviously, he's still getting work, but still aging actor. Very excited to see that. So Jay Kelly's something I want to see, and something I saw that I want to spend a minute or two on is Train Dreams. Train Dreams, another Netflix movie. Amazing. This is my second favorite movie of the year. It's my second 5-star movie of the year. I'm kind of gatekeeping my 10 out of 10 movies this year. And
I
it
have been a
was
little bit too, honestly.
right,
Like,
because
uh,
Sinners set the bar. That's
I
why.
like look back and I'm like, yeah, one battle after another probably should have just gotten a 10 out of 10. And I'm like, it is that bar that was set.
Is Sinners so early being such a fantastic movie? Every other movie, I'm like, it's really great, but it's no Sinners. But Train Dreams was phenomenal. Joel Edgerton gives the performance. This is probably his best performance. Felicity Jones is great. William H. Macy. This is the second movie I've seen him in this year. He was in Running Man. Again, limited screen time, just like in Running Man. But holy shit, he delivers his lines like nobody else. He is so good in this movie. In the very limited screen time he has, William H. Macy, what a star! I love seeing him on my screen, and just a story about love and loss and life, and it's very very simple. This is just a movie about a guy living in the turn of the century. It's 1914 or something like that, or maybe 19 like 17, something like that. Just the beginning of the century, and it follows his entire life from the early 1900s to 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. Like this guy's entire life is followed, and it's just phenomenal, man. I mean, the way it's shot, it's on a different, like the screen is different. I don't even know, the
Aspect
details more than I
ratio.
do. The aspect ratio is different, but it's also like the way it's shot is different, kind of like old filmy style, like that, like the little grainy, you know what I mean? Um, and the sound is kind of a little bit like that too. The sound is a little grainy type thing too. I don't know how to describe it, but when you watch it, you'll notice the difference. And it is just this is a perspective changing movie. This is just something that I recommend everyone see. It's not long. There are kind of times that it does stretch out a bit. You might be a little bored at times, but as a whole, this movie was fucking fantastic. 5 stars from me. Go watch Train Dreams. I am very disappointed that Netflix isn't pushing it as much as they've been pushing their other projects recently. It's better in my opinion than Frankenstein, but I can see why people wouldn't agree. But I think Netflix should definitely push this for the Oscars and should definitely be shoving this movie down people's throats because it is a game changer. So
Yeah,
definitely see it.
it's on my watch list, and I'm definitely going to be watching it at some point soon. Obviously, because of the awards season. It's probably from definitely a best picture standpoint right now because that's the top prize. So that's
Uh-huh.
the one we always look at. It's probably on the outside looking in, just because
I think you're
Netflix.
right.
It is Netflix's third priority in terms of what it's pushing. And is the Academy really going to nominate 3 Netflix movies for Best Picture? Probably
I
not.
think you're right. But Best Actor, please let Joel Edgerton get in there. I don't think
I,
he's going to win, but I think he deserves to.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. If Jay Kelly kind of falls, and Jay Kelly might be a nice movie, but if it kind of falls flat, I'm hearing much better things from an actual narrative, artistic standpoint about Train Dreams than
Yeah.
Jay Kelly. So if Jay Kelly kind of falls flat out of the gate, maybe Netflix pushes Train Dreams more. So it's not out of the race for Best Picture by any means, just on the outside
And the
right
movie
now.
was shot beautifully too, like the cinematography. Like it deserves to be in the conversation for so many awards. I'm sure it won't be,
I
but
saw a
it really
trailer.
deserves
I
it.
saw a trailer at like a little while ago. It looks really interesting. And the praise that you're giving it, I think, especially because it matches, I've seen the praise across the board, I think that speaks volumes, really, especially because you're a little harder nut to crack, maybe for those kind of
I think for
movies.
like this artsy type, like
So for those, and it is what it is. We all have our own interests. So I think for you to speak this highly of it is a high praise.
it's
So
a very simple story done beautifully, and I can't say much more than that.
well, I look forward to it. Well, I'll give a bit of my seesaw here before we wrap up today's episode. Something I saw recently is a show that at first I was kind of wishy-washy on, but it's really starting to pick up and go somewhere good, and that is The Diplomat. I watched season 3 of
Huh.
The Diplomat on Netflix. It stars Carrie Russell. The film, excuse me, talked about a lot of movies today. The show is about a diplomat who has spent a lot of her career in the Middle East, who is suddenly placed at an embassy in London. And she is tasked with maintaining a relationship with the prime minister, who is a bit of a unpredictable man. And it is a fascinating show. I mean, at first it was kind of just whatever. It was very just like talky and not in an interesting way. But once they started to really dive into the geopolitics and raise the stakes, and I can't even really get into it because if you ever watch the show, for example, what for example, the season 2's cliffhanger, one of my favorite cliffhangers, not ever, but up there.
Wow,
Like
there's a lot of
it
good
was
ones,
and it's not the best. I'm not saying it's the best I've ever seen,
but
but
it's good.
it made me so excited. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's going to be
Oh,
interesting.
I
And
love
then
that.
and the payoff in the first episode of season 3, bam, bang, they got it. Oh my god. I was like, I'm locked in all of a sudden. I'm like, I'm with you. This show is getting good. This show is going somewhere. And they maintain a really interesting quality throughout season 3 that the first two seasons are good. But it really throughout the second, it's kind of like Breaking Bad almost. First season, good.
That's what I was thinking.
Second season, good. But by the second half of second season, it's really getting somewhere. And then season 3, holy shit, you have a really good show on your hands. I'm not saying The Diplomat is going to be Breaking Bad. I'm not. I'm just saying it's getting really interesting. The geopolitics are fascinating and they intertwine with personal relationships, and you're starting to get more of that. And when you're dealing with world leaders, it makes for some of the highest pressure kind of situations.
Yeah.
I'm fucking loving it. And I think you would actually really find it
It
interesting.
sounds cool. I've never even heard of it. That sounds pretty cool. Dude, I love when people say like season 1 you kind of got to get through, but some shows are worth it. Like Breaking Bad season 1 is good, but you kind of have to get through it to get cuz the other stuff is so much better. Like the fact that you stuck through what you didn't think was great because now you're up to the stuff that's great is still telling that the show's really good.
Right. Sometimes you just have to build with television. Television is a long form medium. I mean, obviously you
Yeah.
have limited series too, but television can be a long form medium. And sometimes it's about the long haul. And I get that obviously we live in a world and it's an industry where that's not necessarily the case because it's about
Brain
returns.
rot.
It's about profit. It's about ratings. But, sometimes to tell a story in that medium, it takes time over a course of seasons.
Yeah, it's
And
worth waiting.
and again, season 1 of The Diplomat's good. I mean, The Diplomat has been Emmy nominated before. I mean, season 3 is a new season, so we'll see. But the reception is that it's the best season. And this show,
did it just come out?
it came out like September, and I just got
Okay.
around to finishing it now.
All right.
It's only 8 episodes.
Love that. That
I
makes
think
it so much easier to watch.
season 1 is 8 episodes. Season 2 is only like 6 episodes, and season 3 is 8 episodes. So
Nice.
I'd like to see them maybe get up to 10 in
Yeah.
a season just because it's so good and there's a lot going on. But so far, they're making the seasons feel full and worth it. And like I said, I mean, season 1 is good. Season 2, it's kind of following the Breaking Bad formula. The second half of season 2 really picked up.
Dude, that means 4 and 5 are going to be sick.
And then season 3, I was like, damn, okay, we're kind of cooking with gas here a bit.
Are they
Cooking
coming out
with
with a
meth.
new one? We're gonna make a blue crystal.
They leave off for a 4th season. Absolutely. I don't think the cliffhanger of season 3 is as good as season 2, but they leave off like on an oh shit moment again. Like
Gotcha.
shit's gonna go down again.
Wow.
And there's like big stars starting to join the cast. Bradley Whitford, who is the dad in Get Out.
Oh, I like him.
He joins Allison
He's in Godzilla.
Janney Allison Janney is in
Yeah.
the show. Michael McKean plays the president.
I
He's
don't know who that
obvious.
is.
He plays Saul's brother in Better Call Saul. I
Never
forgot
seen
that
it.
you've notoriously never watched that show, even though
Infamously.
you're the one who got me onto Breaking Bad
I know.
originally.
That's an argument for another
And you
day.
haven't seen Better Call Saul, which is arguably as good as Breaking Bad.
I know.
Crazy. But Michael McKean's also been around a long time, so he's in that show. A lot of fun. Really interesting stuff, very tense. So anyway, that's The Diplomat season 3. I guess I gave a little mini review there. My bad, but
I did the same thing for Train Dreams.
And then for my C, it's a film coming out. So, hey, Thanksgiving is over. We all had our turkey. Everything was nice. Now we're getting ready for the holiday season, Christmas. That's what it's all about. So people are going to start watching Christmas movies. And there's a new one coming out that looks really interesting to me called Oh, What Fun. It's coming out this week on Amazon Prime, directed by Michael Showalter, who's done a few other films. He did some called The Idea of You. He did The Big Sick. Movie I saw, the only movie of his I've seen, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. So he's doing this film. Basically, it's about this woman, Claire, who organizes a special Christmas outing when her family forgets her in the shuffle. And by the time they realize their mistake, she's gone missing. And their Christmas is now in jeopardy, but she has other plans. It sounds interesting, and I'm most interested because it has a nice cast. Michelle Pfeiffer, Felicity Jones, Chloe Grace Moretz, Dennis Leary, Dominic Sessa, of course, off his breakout in another Christmas movie.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Danielle Brooks. So Jason Schwartzman. So there's a lot of interesting people in this. I saw the character posters online.
Who's the one who goes missing? Do we know? Is it
she's
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Claire's Michelle Pfeiffer. She's the lead.
Cool.
So
it's like reverse Home Alone.
It kind of is a reverse Home Alone, actually. I was thinking that too. So I'm intrigued. It's the holiday season. Any time of year to watch it. It is now. So it's something that I would like to check out soon.
Nice, dude.
'Tis the season.
Yeah, I'm always down to watch a new movie. So it's coming out on stream. That's even better. Not better,
coming out on stream.
It's easier.
It's easier. It's not better. It's always better in theaters.
You're right.
But
well, that's our episode. Thank you guys all for watching, and thank you for all your wonderful, nice comments that we talked about earlier, and commenting Bible study numbers. Keep those coming. We love you guys all so much, and follow us and like us and do all the stuff with us. Maybe not all the stuff, but some stuff
what
with
kind
us.
Of stuff? I mean, we started this episode talking about boxes. So.
Yeah, that's true. We'll do something to Josh's box later, next episode. Let's do 10,000.
That's our cliffhanger.
10,000 followers, and we get to see Josh's box. How's that sound?
All right, and 10,001, and we see Jack's box.
Yeah, okay, fair. I mean, they put our boxes together, maybe.
That's the true docking.
Yeah, it's reverse docking. Holy shit!
The docking
just
is
your assholes,
like they suction cup each other.
They suction cup like two plungers and like a Chinese finger trap. Chinese finger trap.
No. You're too ain't it? No. I'm done.
Okay.
End of episode.
Okay. All right.
We're losing people. We're losing
the episode's over. All right. Bye, guys. We love you. Now you say bye.
Bye.